episode of The Walking Dead. Today we are talking about our predictions for Season 5, Episode 5, called Self-Help. At least I think it's called Self-Help. I probably should have looked that up before I started this video, but that's what we're gonna call it today. So I am not this week because I have no idea what's gonna happen in the episode at all. I haven't heard any spoilers. Don't tell me any spoilers. I'm not going to watch the New Zealand promo or any other country's promos. I am just going by the US promos. So this predictions video is probably not going to be that great, but I am really excited to finally watch an episode where I know absolutely nothing. So there are a couple promos here that we've seen here in the US, and the first one is they are on the bus, and it's just Maggie and Glenn and Eugene, and Maggie asks Eugene, you know, once he gets to the terminal and he sends out, does whatever he needs to do on it, how long until the world gets back to normal? And I'm just sitting here thinking, I cannot believe that they are actually falling for Eugene's crap. Like, doesn't Eugene just sound like he is full of shit? I just, like, this guy has got something wrong with him. And yet they're still kind of believing him, you know, and Glenn asks him a couple questions, and it's kind of like whenever he doesn't have an answer, you know, he's pretty quick with his words, Eugene, and he seems to kind of have some kind of answer where if you talk enough, you can confuse them enough, and then they won't remember the question they asked. That's kind of what I get from Eugene. Like, he's a fast talker. He knows how to talk his way out of situations, and I feel like he's just a really fast talker, and if you talk fast enough and you give him a lot of information and you act like you know what you're talking about, I think, you know, you can confuse people enough where they are doubting whether they believe you or not. You know, they're doubting, you know, if they don't believe you, they're gonna start to believe you, and if they already believe you, man, I don't know. This Eugene thing. So, spoilers, don't watch this video if you know what's gonna happen, or if you don't wanna know what's gonna happen with Eugene. But I'm gonna talk about the comics here for a minute. For those of you who haven't watched any of my previous videos about Eugene, comic spoiler, in the comics, Eugene is totally full of crap. Like, he doesn't have any cure, and the only reason he is leading them on this wild goose chase is so that he can have the protection that Abraham offers, because Abraham is determined to get this cure to Washington, and he will save Eugene no matter what. And Eugene loves that. Like, he can't fight. He's pathetic, and without Abraham, he would not survive. He would not have survived this long. So we know from the comics that Eugene's full of crap. It's likely that that storyline is going to play out in the show as well. I cannot believe that they would try and make the show about finding an actual cure. Like, it's impossible. There is no way the world at this point is going to go back to the way it was. Based on this promo, I'm not sure that Glenn is entirely convinced by Eugene. You can just kind of see it in his face a little bit. I'm just not sure that he's really believing Eugene 100%. And then he makes a comment about Eugene's hair, and Eugene says because he likes it. It's too much. It was really funny. We see another very quick promo of Abraham just beating the crap out of someone. We don't know who this guy is, but it sort of seems like it's not a walker, that it's an actual person. If it was a walker, I feel like it would be more squishy and gross, and it looks like he was actually beating up a real live person. But we have no idea what it was. Was it a flashback? You know, in the comics, we heard a little bit about Abraham's history and his backstory and why he is the way he is, and what he went through, you know. And so I feel like at some point in this show, we're gonna have to see something why Abraham is the way he is, something about him, because it was such a big part of the books, you know. I mean, like, it molded who he was. So I feel like at some point here we're gonna have to see some kind of flashback, or hear him tell his story to someone, something. So I'm wondering if maybe that is some sort of flashback. Either way, the main promo for next week's episode, there is a lot of Abraham yelling about not retreating, not going back. Every direction is a question. So it seems like maybe people are doubting, and it looks like he's yelling at Eugene in the promo. So I wonder if Eugene is trying to stall. Somehow he's trying to prevent them from actually getting to Washington. So maybe he's acting worried about something, or trying to come up with some sort of excuse to not continue on their way wherever they're going. So Abraham's yelling at Eugene, and he says, "We're at war, and retreat means we lose." It looks like they're on foot again. We know from the San Diego Comic-Con trailer for season 5 that the bus crashes at one point. We see the bus kind of hit something and going up and over a car or a truck or something. So I think that, you know, they probably are only on the church bus for a short amount of time, and then they crash. Hopefully everyone is uninjured. It looks like they are. And they're on foot again, unfortunately. From the San Diego trailer, we also saw them trying to get a fire truck. So I'm assuming that's going to be their new ride. Other than that, I don't really have any other predictions for what's going to happen in the next episode. I'm guessing it's going to be a lot of them on the move. They're going to probably crash the bus. They're going to try and get, I'm guessing they're going to try and get the fire truck. Potentially see Abraham crying. I'm wondering if maybe we find out the truth about Eugene in this episode, or if the crying scene is, again, the flashback to his history and what went on with him. So I feel like we're definitely going to have kind of an Abraham-centered episode where hopefully we find out a lot more about his character. What are your guys' predictions for next week's episode? Leave them in the comments below. Please remember no spoilers, please, or at least put a spoiler warning before you type it so that I can look away as soon as I read the word spoiler. That's it for today, guys. That's what's dead ahead in next week's episode.